Hello. ActionCable has always been a part of Ruby on Rails framework that I could kind of live without. And if you read the documentation, it says that it should be a way to seamlessly integrate WebSockets, but I always felt the need that I need another tool to seamlessly integrate ActionCable itself. And with the arrival of Hotwire Turbo broadcasts, it becomes actually easier to use different ActionCable features in the Ruby on Rails application. So in this episode, we are going to count the visitors on the website using ActionCable and Turbo. So here you see I have a localhost open and I have one visitor on the application. And if I open the same URL in a different browser, it is going to be a different session. So you see the count of visitors has been updated to 2. And it has been updated on both browsers. Now, if I open one of the rooms, I see that there is one visitor inside of this room. I open the same room in the other browser, and there are 2 visitors. If I leave the room, there is 1 visitor. So you see, this is a lifetime feature that would actually get updated in all the browsers of all the users. And for this particular episode, we are not having user authentication, we are identifying unique browser sessions. So here, if I completely close all the browser tabs here, then you see the website visitors is back to 1. So let's build this kind of feature. And to do it, we are going to need to use some very basic ActionCable functionality. And importantly, we are going to use Turbo stream channel that we are going to plug into, and we are going to use Kredis as a way to store the IDs of the sessions and the quantity of sessions that are currently on our website. So let's start from a basic application. I will go to master branch. Okay, and here in this basic application, I only have a scaffold of rooms and nothing else. So a room has only an ID. Let me restart the browser and go to rooms. So here I have 2 rooms, and I want to be able to see the total number of sessions that are viewing our application. So I'm going to start by adding a Turbo stream broadcast like this. So I'm going to add a Turbo stream from and let it be visitors. So I'm going to go to our application to be able to see to enable this Turbo stream for everybody who is visiting our application. And I will name it, let's say, visitors. And we're going to plug into a specific channel. So let's name it visitor channel. And now we're going to go to app, assets, and inside of channels, we're going to create a visitors channel .rb. And inside of this channel, you see, I'm looking at the actual code of Hotwire Turbo, and here we see that it already offers us a Turbo stream channel that has some Turbo features, and that automatically adds the stream from functionality. If we go to ActionCable, we see that when we subscribe, we need to stream from something. And we're going to stream from the verified stream name from params, that is visitors in our case. So we've created this visitors channel, and we are going to add the name, so class visitors channel, and we're going to inherit not from ActionCable channel base, but we're going to inherit from Turbo stream channel that already itself inherits from ActionCable channel base. And we're going to add 2 methods, subscribe and unsubscribe. So def subscribe and def unsubscribed. Okay, and in the subscribed, to actually make this default code work, we're going to add the super. Okay, and let's see if we can actually access this visitors channel from our Turbo stream from. Let's start by starting the server. I'll restart. You see this says subscription class not found online channel because of me checking out from the previous branch, so that is not something we should pay attention at. I'm refreshing, and you see it says visitors channel is transmitting subscription confirmation. Now, not to have the subscription class not found, I will refresh the other browser session, because I still had a browser session that was trying to pin the online channel that we don't have in the current branch. So anyway, going back, here we have the visitors channel transmitting, and let's see if we can plug into it. I will put a binding here, so I would say binding.b, for example, or I can actually do it after super. Let me refresh the page, and you see we are inside the binding. Let's try to get request. Okay, let's try to get params. So we have the visitor channel, and we can also access some of the methods from this TurboStream channel. Let's try to find the verified stream name from params. So you see the stream name is visitors, the one that we put right here. Okay, so we have managed to get into the visitors channel, and now we want to get the session ID of a user inside a browser. So let's click continue. I will remove the binding. Okay, so to be able to get the session ID, now let's try doing it just inside one of the views. I'll go to application HTML and say something like request session.id. And here we have the unique ID of the session inside this browser. If I go to another browser, here you see it is a different ID. If I open another tab, the ID is the same within a browser. So this way we can kind of identify the amount of unique browsers that are inside our application. And we need to somehow make these IDs available inside our visitors channel to count them and to display the count in our application HTML ERB. So to do this, we're going to go to the connection, I think. So in the connection, I'm going to say that we identify our users, in this case by session. So we would say identified by session user, and I would say def connect. So when a connection is created, we are going to say self.sessionUser equals request.session.id. And now we should have the session user available inside all our ActionCable channels. Let's try and see if it works. So I will refresh one of the sessions. I think I am in the binding. Okay, here I am. I will go to session user, and you see we have this ID of the user available here. I will click continue again and again. Okay, so we have the kind of session ID available inside here. Now we need to store a list of all the kind of unique session IDs that we have viewing our application. And for this, we're going to use Kredis. So instead of writing to our PostgreSQL database, it is really cool to write to Kredis, because it is just like a way to interact with the Redis that we already have for our Turbo broadcasts. And it is a great place to store very temporary data. And this example of like visit account at the moment is very temporary data. So we would need to install the gem Kredis, and I would go to gem file, and you see Kredis is offered to us by default. I will uncomment it and run bundle. Next, I would have to run Kredis install. And now we can try accessing Kredis in the console. So let's say list equals Kredis dot unique list, and we would give some kind of name like list or whatever. Let's say list dot elements list. Let's add some kind of element like ABC. Here we have one element. We can add another element like DEF, for example. list elements.count. So like this, we're going to add a list of all our sessions, and we're going to use a Kredis unique list, so we don't have the same session listed twice. And when we connect, inside this visitor channels, we're going to add to this credit list, and when we disconnect, we're going to remove the session ID from the list. So I'm going to go here, and we already have this session user. So I'm going to get the credits list. I will say visitors online equals credits.unique list. I'll also name it visitors online. And to this visitors online, I'm going to add the session user. And for the unsubscribe action, I'm going to remove the session user. So I will say not add, but I would say dot remove. Okay, let's see if the Kredis part works. So I'll go back to one of the browsers. I will start the server. Okay, and let's try displaying this unique list with its elements. So let's go maybe again to our application HTML and try to display Kredis unique list visitors online. Let's say list equals Kredis unique list visitors online, and we will try to display the list's elements. We will say list.elements. Okay, and here we have a list with two elements. Here it is this element, so we see this session ID. Here it is. And if I refresh this page, here we also see both session IDs. Now, if I close the browser tab and refresh this manually with Ctrl-R, you see there is just one session ID. Again, I will open this browser tab. I have both session IDs, I refresh, and now I have two session IDs. Okay, now we don't need both. We don't need to have a list of them, we can have just the count. And we also need a way to automatically update the list of session IDs in our view whenever a new user logs in or logs out. So opens or closes the browser tab. And for this, we're going to just use TurboStream broadcasts. So we're going to say TurboStream channel.broadcast update to. Then we're going to send it to the channel, to the visitors channel, and we're going to access the variable visitors as verified stream name from params. So we are sending to verified stream name from params. We're going to say target will be some kind of empty div. Let's add some kind of empty div like div with ID visitor count, visitors count, and let's close the empty div. And we are going to say that the target will be visitors count, and the HTML will be visitors online.elements.count. And we are going to send the same to TurboStream in case of unsubscribed. So I think this might work. Let's see if it works. I'll refresh this page, I'll refresh this page, and we have two users online. I will close this browser tab, and you see we have one. I'll reopen it, and you see the number has updated to 2. Let me try once again. 1, 2. I navigate different pages of the website, and the number stays the same. I will close all the tabs here. So closing this tab, I will refresh this tab, I'll close it, and you see it is 1. So this way we can see the total number of browsers that have this application active. Looks fine. Now let's do the same but for rooms. So it is going to be quite easy based on what we have already done, but with a small change. We would need to somehow pass the room ID and to the channel. So we would create a new channel. I would say room channel.rb. I would copy the visitor channel. Let's make it room channel. And we would need to have a list dedicated to this room, so we would need to have some kind of identifier with the room ID, and we would need to have, I guess, a target with also the room ID. So I would go the same way we did in application HTML ERB. We have added this placeholder and the TubeStream from. We're going to do the same in the room show page. So here we'll have stream from at room. So we'll have the room object as the place of stream from. Channel will be room channel. And here we will have the ID as room, then maybe the room ID, so equals room.id. Visitors count. So this is going to be the target. And let me go to the room channel. And here we will say that the target will be room ID and visitor count. I'll add the same kind of target here, but we still don't have this room ID. And here the Kredis list still just is visitors online. So we don't know inside this room channel that we are going to stream for this specific room. And the cool thing that we're going to do here is we're going to add a param. So we'll say params room ID will be at room.id. And let's try to see if this works. I'll go back to the room channel and put a binding here. So binding.b. I will comment out all this other code. And let me refresh the room page. Let's see if we are broadcasting. Okay, it looks like the binding didn't work. We want room channel. We go to the show page. Channel is room channel, but it didn't seem to work. Let's see why. I'll try again in another browser. I will open a room. Okay, it still didn't work. Actually, I see I made a typo here. I didn't close the gap correctly. Let's see if it works now. Okay, yeah, so I just had a typo. And let's try to access params. And let's click continue. Params. Continue. Okay, so I didn't seem to have passed the room ID this time. Let's try once again. Params. Continue. Yes, actually it looks like I should have passed not params but data. So let me try once again and click params. And yes, we have room ID. So here I passed in the room ID with this data, not with params. And we have room ID accessible inside this room channel, and we can use it. So let's uncomment out this code, and we will have Kredis unique list. We can just have the room ID that we'll have in params. So we would say params room ID. So I would have params room ID. Here again it would be params room ID. And here also params room ID and params room ID. But this wouldn't look really nice because it would be just 1 or 17, so we would need maybe some additional way to make this list unique for this particular room. So I would say room params room ID dot join, and same here. So this way the Kredis list will have a really unique name. Okay, let me click continue, and let's see if the number gets updated. So here you see I have the count of people inside this room. I'll refresh it here, and you see I have 2 people inside this room. I leave the room, and you see there is one person in this room, I can again open this room like in a couple of tabs. So you see I have two rooms in two tabs, and here you see I have two people in this room and two people in this room. So from this browser I have two rooms open with the same session, and it counts as like as I am visiting both rooms. So here I have like two. So kind of works, and that's basically it. We have added the total number of people on the website, and we have added a total number of people in a specific room, and we have done it without requiring user authentication. So let's do a quick recap. Inside our application RB, we have added a placeholder where we send the quantity of people that are online in our website, and we've added a turbo stream from that goes to the visitors channel. And inside of this visitors channel, we create a credits list with a list of session IDs, and we update this visitors online list each time a user connects and disconnects from WebSockets, and we send this updated data with the turbo. And the session user is set inside our connection RB, where we get the request session ID. So one browser, one session. And the only difference with rooms is that we also pass the data room ID param, so that we can identify a unique room inside our room channel. And that's basically it. Thanks for being with me. I hope it clicked with you as it clicked with me, and see you in the next one.